So into the second week of questioning now, and no let-up in the ferocity of the chief prosecutor, is there?
No, Mr. Nell is certainly a very ferocious and relentless cross-examiner.
Yes, he's got a nickname, hasn't he? The Bull Terrier, and you can certainly see why today, can't you?
Yes, he gets hold of a point and he doesn't let it go, and he just comes at it from all different angles. He moves on to another point, and then suddenly, without warning, will come back to that same point, asking Pistorius, you know, questions about the balcony. Suddenly, were you on the balcony? And now he says he wasn't. Now today, you know, he slammed that into him out of nowhere, and suddenly he says, no, he was on the balcony. So things like that, she's just tearing holes in the validity of what he said previously.
Trying to unsettle him. Let's have a look at something else that happened in court today. Let's have a look at this.
You fired at Riva. These other versions of yours cannot work.
True,
you fired at her. You did. Why are you getting emotional now?
I did not fire at Riva.
Now, we've seen Oscar Pistorius break down on a number of occasions, but it seems that Gerry Nell is losing his patience with Pistorius' tears. Would you say that?
Yeah, he keeps coming back to this idea that whenever the questioning gets too difficult, he starts breaking down. And, you know, as he said there, you know, why are you so emotional now? It seems almost arbitrary, the points at which he breaks down, in some cases, not all.
What will the judge make of that, do you think?
A couple of times she has actually reprimanded Nell to say, you know, you need to actually cool down on that line. But it seems like in general she's allowing this to go forward.
Because the prosecutor is trying to suggest that they're crocodile tears, they're not real. In South Africa, what do people think? Do they believe that the performance we're seeing of Oscar Pistorius in court?
Well, interesting you mention crocodile tears. A well-known political cartoonist in South Africa actually drew a cartoon depicting exactly that, Pistorius as a crocodile crying tears. So, you know, certainly has no sympathy for him there. Obviously, you've seen outside the court members of, you know, the public giving him balloons and flowers and cards, hugging him. You know, there is still a huge amount of support out there for him. People calling him a hero, despite the fact that we know, without doubt, he shot and killed Riva.
We're into the 6th day of cross-examination by the chief prosecutor. Do we know how many more days this is likely to run? And do you think that Oscar Pistorius is going to stand the course? Because he seems to be getting more fragile, doesn't he?
Yes, he certainly kind of had a good weekend, relaxing. He's obviously been under an immense amount of pressure to remember what he said on previous occasions. So I think he's definitely feeling the pressure more than ever. And in terms of when the trial will run until, I believe it's meant to wrap up around mid-May. So we could be in for another few days of cross-examination.
We saw Oscar Pistorius' sister there. She's been there every day, but so too have Riva's family, notably her mum and dad. How are they handling all of this, do you think?
Well, I believe that Riva's father, Barry, had a heart attack recently. A stroke brought on by the stress of the whole situation. Riva's mum and her sister or her half-sister have spoken to the press over the weekend. Sister came straight out, called him a liar, said she can just see the way he's sitting in court, the things that he's saying are not true. You know, Riva's mum has spoken about how she sees him as a devil. She wants to look him in the eye, you know. And even her father has said that before the end of the court, he wants to appear there himself, just once to look Pistorius in the eye.